Hi, welcome. This is a reading for Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, North Node, Venus in Scorpio, even. This is a past life reading about. So, we're going to be talking about two lives here that have affected the way you live and the way you are. And I hope, if anything, if it resonates, you come out with a renewed sense of self-assurance when it comes to the decisions that you make, and that you are the way you are for good reason. Some things that you learned the hard way. You don't mix business with pleasure. Never. You won't do that. You have a God-given business sense, whoever you are. Still to this day. But you go all the way back to ancient Japan. So I don't know if you know that you have Japanese heritage or that you had a past life there. But you do, like, all the way back. Like the ones that they call the indigenous Japanese used to make fun of y'all's tribe for being old. You know? They called it, like, for 14,000 BC, I read, there's been a civilization there that kind of grew into what became Emishi, Emishi, the Mutsu province, Mutsu, Mutsu, Natori Miyagi. So, if you've ever been called or just found yourself doing business in Japan, or if you're literally Japanese, know that you're like literally Japanese. You're very, very Japanese, okay? Yuriyagi, Miyagi, Natori, Hirura Bay. You're a Hirura Bay baby. You're from, so your parents fell in love and made love, Hirora, help me below, how do you say that? Hirura Bay. They might have been shrimp farmers, like old school, but you came right out as a leader. You came out, I'm sorry, egotistical, bossy, critical. I feel like your parents were kind of like, where did this kid come from? But you were a problem solver right away. You were very skilled in business, but the life that's coming up right now that you could either draw strength from or inspiration from, or just go on a trip if you need a vacation. Or if you can't go on a trip, do some research into these cultures and you might find some comfort or solace there. Or a feeling of homeness, okay? If you're feeling a little lost or like you're going in circles, even if you're very busy, because I feel like you're always busy. Another thing that you don't do is waste time. You don't let people waste your time. And you don't let anyone make promises in business that they don't follow through with. And that goes all the way back too, because you learned the hard way. So that's why you're so stuck in your ways if you are business minded. It's because you learn to be. You're not willing to repeat old cycles, and that's something that's really exciting about who you are as a person. And I feel like you might have been all over, but there's a deep cultural connection, okay, to the Mutsu province. And the Bushi warrior clan. Okay, so you were born in to the Bushi warrior clan, meaning whether or not you are great at business, you are going to be a samurai. And you were. And I feel like being a warrior came naturally to you too. I don't feel like it was the situation like the same as the, was it Cancer reading, where the father wanted them to be a great warrior, conquering hero, military leader, and they were like, I just want to dance. It's not like this. This is like, oh yeah, I can do that too, but I'm going to be making some money over there while I'm not doing that. So you're someone who gets very, very bored easily, and it's because with a lot of this training back then, it was like very much like, if you ever saw the OG Karate Kid where he has him like wax on, wax off all the cars, it's like pruning a bonsai. It was really a lot of that. It was really you growing the garden. We learned to be warriors the old way. And you didn't always necessarily appreciate that speed of life. So I feel like you can do 3 things while most people are just working on the first thing. Okay, and that included being a warrior. Now, hold on. So let's see, Imishi Jamon descended from the Jomon tribe? Oh, they were the hunter-gatherers. Got it. Okay. So you really had something to prove, I think, as society itself was coming together, as you were building with your clan and protecting your clan and learning how to build a legacy and an empire for yourself, separate from your parents who you thought of as primitive, is kind of what I'm getting here. So, how did you learn not to mix business with pleasure? At a young age, as a young girl, and you were a warrior even if you were a girl, I'm getting here, but there's something a little bit disturbing in this. Okay, so just a trigger warning that someone who would be considered a leader of the clan, but not like your father or uncle or anything like that, was actually the cause of your death. This is someone that you wanted to do business with, and they had ulterior motives. So it's like they lured you in. I mean, even knowing that you were a samurai, how did they get it? Oh. Okay. What you didn't realize was that that was a sort of secret agent, head of another clan that was trying to get rid of your parents and therefore you. But they lured you in as a business leader, as you come to my court, and because you thought your parents were old-fashioned, a more laid-back, updated. It's like, yeah, we're all dudes here. But he was a predator. He just wanted to sleep with you. Did he tell you that? No. Was there any indication at all until you got to, it's like behind the walls, at which point you couldn't defend yourself? No, you had no idea. I think you had an idea that this person liked you, but you didn't know that it was a predator that was kind of trapping you in their spider web, is what I'm getting. Well, trapped in the spider web there. And I feel like... okay, this is disturbing. I'm sorry, but they could have made it so you could not have children with anyone else because they're a complete sociopath. You thought you were going to learn how to run your own clan? learn how to be accepted into the higher echelons of the greater world beyond the kingdom because it was so boring to you. You felt like you weren't progressing, or they wouldn't allow you to. Even back then, you understood that things change. You know, if you're a Scorpio, maybe you were back then too. And it's like, all right, you live and you learn and you move on. You don't stay in the same old thing for forever. So you've always been that way, okay, if you are that way right now. So it was a very hard lesson in accepting someone into your world, or even into your good graces, into your trust, because you saw the kind of the gold at the end of the rainbow there. And you thought that you thought that it was someone to look up to. And he was looking for young boys or girls to manipulate. Or to use as a workhorse. But I think what got you killed was that you fought back. I think everybody else kind of fell in line as the concubine or the castrated little boyfriend that stays, 14 forever or whatever. So you could have been way ahead of your time and very young when this happened. It's like I'm sorry, but an evil Peter Pan who promised gold and then took you away and tried to make you his little forever plaything, because that's what he did. But you had no idea. So it could have been when you found out that there was going to be a castration or something like that, you tried to get away, and that's when you were brutally killed. I'm sorry. But it wasn't like you live by the sword, die by the sword, because that was not a fair fight. Whatever that was, that evil, wicked demon made it so. That was not a fair fight. And you thrive during difficult times, and from now on, or from then on, you always thrived in difficult times, because you can always sense it when someone wants to do business with you, but they're really just trying to get in your pants. Because a long time ago, someone wanted to make you their slave, really. I don't know how else to put that. Because you were bright-eyed and very intelligent. There's just that youth. You can't make up for that. You can't make up for someone who's never encountered a monster expecting something positive. So it was not deserved. It wasn't like you were fighting another samurai. How do we say that? Samurai. Or Bushi. It's like where you came from, people didn't lie and sneak and steal, and certainly they wouldn't lie about love. Certainly they wouldn't. Like, to me, it's unimaginable to lie about something holy like love. And I think to you, you're like, it's unfathomable to you that someone would lie about something as important as business or money. And that comes from being used and abused and taken away from your home under the guise of an internship or something like that, and it was more like a dungeon than anything else. But you made your way out. You paid with your life, but spiritually, that was the end of that thing's hold on you. Where the ones that stayed or didn't fight were brainwashed into accepting their fate as concubines or slaves and being reborn and just trying to make the best of it. You did not do that. You will never do that. So if something's coming up right now and that rings a bell, you will never do that. You will never it's like an old cycle that you've closed the book on. And it doesn't go over your head like it did back that first young life. When you paid with your life because of some crooked demon's obsession with you and your energy and your potential. So if you're a little egotistical, it's because you need to be. If you're a little bossy, it's because you need to be. If you're critical of others, it's to protect yourself. And people just need to deal with it, honestly. Okay? So after that, what happened? Again, Japan, but more recent. Still old, but more recent, okay? So, Natori. And you must have had so many lives between them, because where you were as an archetype there and where you were here in your more modern incarnation as kind of an elder existing from the Bushi people, where you're not forced to fight, you're not forced to flee. Wow. If you choose chastity for yourself, or people call you cold or unapproachable because you don't let people touch all up on you like they want to, that's for good reason. You don't owe anybody anything. You don't know. I mean, if you're married, I'm not talking about that. If you're married, of course you do. I'm talking about the greater world as it is, and especially business partners, especially at work, especially if it's, oh, we're all one big happy family. No, you already know. You have to watch out for yourself, your peace, and your happiness. Because this life you came to create, to use your imagination. Maybe you still are a business leader, but it's something innovative. It's you're moving on. You're leaving the past behind with a vengeance, but a joy, because you bring your wisdom with you. So you're walking away completely, or moving away from struggle. If you've been struggling, it may be time to take a break. And if you're not Japanese at all, there could be a pilgrimage in your future that will bring you a lot of personal inner joy and peace. You might even meet someone. But there's something there for you, something there for your soul, something there for your heart. Because you did have a soulmate there. And you did grow old together. Oh, that's another thing. Something that is almost a relic of that life. So that life had a lasting impact on your soul. Your own hero's journey. And you're never going to die young again. You only live to be old now. From then on, you only live to be old. You eat right, you exercise, you understand the mind-body-soul connection, and even if everything's crumbling around you, or everyone's trying the dumbest diet fads in the world, you're going to be strong, okay? You're going to be healthy. You're going to stay connected and lifted spiritually, so that if you haven't met your soulmate yet, you will. Like, they're just around the corner. Your ships are coming in. If it's like you're like, no, I'm this, I don't want a relationship, then this is about a business success for you that brings you joy. If the only thing that brings you joy is good business, then let it be that. And love yourself for that. And honor yourself for that and how far you've come. Because you're not going to let the younger generation go through what you did. So, like I was saying, you can do 5 things at one time. Like, you could be a Bushido samurai warrior and the most successful, like the next entrepreneur of the year on Time Magazine, like for that time sort of thing. So if you're the next best Time Magazine entrepreneur of the year, like who's who in young entrepreneurs, that's going to bring you a lot of joy and feel no guilt and feel no shame, because you stepping into your power in a creative, loving way, where you do have that wisdom, you do know how to protect yourself, and you do see it from a mile away if someone has ulterior motives. Perfect. That's perfect. What to do? Solve the right problem. So there could be something you're trying to solve right now that you can call back to that time for, should I get a, what? Gray shades. Shades of gray. False love. Okay. You've also learned the hard way about love. So you had to have a few false twin flames before the real one comes in. They're very intellectual. They're very smart. They have a position of a high authority where they can't be touched. So that actually works really well with you kind of shooting to the top as either the next best thing that everyone has to have, or that everyone wants to hear if you're a musician, or it's just literally the love of your life. And if the love of your life is business, let it be that too. And sabotage from a mile away when you see it. So there could be sabotage from a mile away as you see it, and you don't know. The sabotage could come in the form of a groupie, a hanger-on, trying to get in your ear, trying to implant an idea. It's all for their own benefit, not for yours. 1, 2, 3, 4 friends you had to scratch out. 1, 2, 3, 4 fake friends. It's like someone giving you bad business advice on purpose. No, you see that from a mile away. And you see someone in a relationship that's trying to pass themselves off as this when it's really this. Okay, you can't be fooled. You can't be stopped. And you're about to be loved like you've never been loved before. So stay in an angel energy. I feel like you're a demon when you have to be, and you're an angel when you have to be. And what's that song? You've been running up that hill. Oh yeah. You did. You ran up that hill. And you run your own world. It's like a safe space out of a continuous chaotic situation, okay? So if it's like you're getting out of a job, or you're getting out of a relationship, or you're moving from, it's the same business, but you're doing it in a more beautiful place. It's like if you love what you do and you're never going to do anything but that, it could be just a relocation or a changing up of the decor. Go back to that culture that you were once a part of. There's something for you there. There's peace for you there. And it might open a door that leads you to your true love. Stay upbeat. Stay positive. Keep everybody else's opinions out of it. Don't read media. If you all are well known, critics are that. Nothing. Critics. They're just critics. People can say words all day. It means nothing. If someone's being rude to you because of what you look like or your cultural heritage, if they knew who they were talking to, they'd shut up real quick. But you don't have to prove anything to anyone. Maybe when you were like a young Spitfire, you did all piss and vinegar. No, I'm hearing that. And you might still be fiery, but it, like with the other reading, it's with the mind of an ascended master. But they can still get that samurai. They can still get them samurai hands if you know you need. But it's like a mind, body, soul connection where you had that power physically, and now you have that power physically and spiritually and emotionally. And you're able to inspire others. So working in groups might be something that you never thought you would do that might bring you a lot of joy. A natural healer, a teacher. You could go into the psychic arts if you haven't already, but that's something that would have surprised you about yourself back then. You would have been like, really? A witch? No way. Yes. It's part of your hero's journey. And your ancestors are always with you. It's like the last one. They're always with you. They're so proud of you. Like you could barely turn around without 100 ancestors just being like, that's our baby. That's our baby. You know? And you've learned to not stay in toxic relationships. So if that's coming up right now, know that that's for a reason. You don't put up with shit, or from now on you remember who you are. Bushi warrior, samurai, genius, innovator, creator. From a sort of ascended earth angel prerogative. So whoever you are, you're exactly who you need to be. All right, Scorpio. Do some research in some of those areas if you're feeling a little lost just in life. And there will be inspiration for you there. And if you can get there to visit, I think there might be healing for you there as well. You could visit the UNESCO heritage site. Okay, and I know I didn't pronounce anything right. I'm so sorry, but I don't know, you've just kind of like been making them say wow since the very beginning. And now you know how to love yourself, watch your back, and love everyone else around you too. So beautiful future with a new soulmate. Or an old soulmate who's coming back around again, and it's going to feel really good and exciting. True bliss. No more bad times. Happy ending, okay? All right, Scorpio, I'm going to leave it there. I'll see you for the next one. Bye-bye.